Hello and welcome to My Career, My Future. This is your host, Coach Kamul Hassan. And Coach Kamul Hassan Network presents My Career, My Future is the program for you. How we can help you to develop your career. You know why? I have started my career back in 2001 with HSBC, and then I worked till 2017 October with a bank which is international standard as well. During this 16 years of career, I have struggled a lot. I have suffered a lot. And in this journey, I also learned a lot. I thought I need to share these lessons that I have learned. Why? I believe that this can help you to develop yourself. This can help you to understand the corporate journey. This can help you to know about what the corporate looks like. It is completely different than that of student life. You might be very good at your university, you might be champion, you might be the first, you might be the number one student, but that does not necessarily guarantee you would do good in corporate, because this is a completely new journey. So based on my life's lessons, mistakes that I have learned, I thought if I could help you, because I come from village, I came here in Dhaka 1994, and that's why I know exactly what's the pain that you might be facing. And thus, I want to bring you the seasoned mentor, the seasoned trainer, the seasoned coach of the country from different industries, from different perspectives, so that together you can learn from all of these seasoned professionals. And thus, today I have some guests which I want to introduce with you. And you'll be very happy to know that he's such a seasoned professional who is helping, who is contributing, who is impacting, who is changing, countrywide, who has traveled across the country, who has spoken to hundreds of thousands of people and helped them to realize who they are, what they could do. And today, my guest of this program, none other than the career coach, the public speaker, the author, Mr. Jamal Uddin Jamy. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome Jamal Uddin Jamy into our platform. Coach Kamul Hassan Network presents My Career, My Future. Jamal Uddin Jamy.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing and agreeing to come on and share your wisdom and knowledge to the
Thank you
young
very much.
professionals.
Thank you very much for inviting me to your show. Hopefully together we'll be able to bring something new for our students, those who are struggling, those who are thriving to do better in their life.
Absolutely. So Mr. Jamal Uddin Jamy, apart from career coach, trainer and public speaker, he is the Director of Career and Professional Development Services at Southeast University. On top, he is also heading the responsibility of international relations. So he has multiple hats. But on top of that, the most important for you and for me is a career coach. He helps the students and young professionals how they could channel their abilities so that they could be successful. And today, we want to hear from him. So, Mr. Jamal Uddin Jamy bhai, how did you start your career?
Okay, starting my formal career, before that, for my student life, I was engaged with different kinds of like taking classes in different coaching centers, also some part-time jobs. So I had to move from here and there. Even I moved to different districts of Bangladesh to conduct some classes because I had to struggle to feed myself on that time. So I was, when I was a student of Dhaka University, I used to take classes in different places. So when I put myself into those situations, like preparing myself for taking classes, so I learned how to communicate with the people, how to present, how to say something in front of the people. So that helped me a lot when at first I faced my interview for my formal job and I won it. So my first job was, I was administrative officer of a private university in Bangladesh called Manarat University. Then I switched from Manarat University to a corporate firm. So I worked there 6 months. Then I thought, okay, maybe I'm not for the corporate life. So I love to work with the students, to guide them, to mentor them, to coach them. So I switched back to Southeast University again. Then I left Southeast University for another university. Then again, they brought me here with some different responsibilities. So here, it's all about actually like to come to my passion, what I love I'm doing over there. Like if I don't have any job, I would do the same thing, like coaching, mentoring, and guiding our students, what I have learned in my personal life to share with our students. So what I'm doing at this moment. So I love my job. I love my students, to guide them, to mentor them.
What a wonderful way. And apart from that, you have also written a book, Business English and Presentation Skills.
Okay, as I was taking some classes in different places, so when I stopped taking classes, I have become full-time employee of different companies, so I didn't have much time to conduct classes. So in that case, so my understanding, my feeling, okay, I learned something, but I'm not able to give it back to the people. So I wrote the book, and the publishers published it. So yeah, several times. It is most probably third time they published my book. So yeah, I'm helping people through this book as well, because these days actually, communicating with the people, also presenting in front of the audience is really challenging, and most of the students struggle here. So this book helped them.
Great. So over the years that you have been through, right, you went to different universities and you have spoken to them, you have guided them as a career coach.
Yeah.
So you have spoken probably hundreds of thousands of students already countrywide. It's more than that, and you have impacted directly and indirectly. It's not necessarily that who has come to that particular program, but necessarily those who have heard about you, your speech and your thing. So what one thing or several things that you have came across that our students need to develop in order to face the challenge of tomorrow, in terms of developing the skills, so that they get a good job, so that they can fulfill their dream, their desire. Can you just help us understanding and dissect this?
Sure. This is a very interesting thing. A few days back, I was reading an article from Business Insider, so one of the famous business magazine. So Business Insider was taking an interview of a head of HR in a bank of Wall Street. So Liz Lieberman, she was asked several questions, and one of the questions was like, Business Insider was asking that based on what you recruit your new employees and also you promote your old employees. And she answered with two words, like people skills. Okay. The same thing, like as our research was conducted by Harvard University, also Stanford Research Center, and they conducted a research on successful people. How do people become successful? So after the research, they came up with a solution that, successful people are successful because, they are successful based on their people skill. 85% of your success, career success, depends on people skill, and 15% is only technical skill. And also one research was conducted by Carnegie Research Institute that if you want to be financially successful in your career, so 85% of your financial success depends on how do you communicate with the people, how do you negotiate, how you solve the problems and other things. How you lead. So see, these are we call them soft skill or people skill. And one interesting thing that in our university, all over the world, you'll not find a single school or college that these skills are taught over there.
Exactly.
So you cannot learn these people or soft skill in the classroom. So what you have to do, you have to put yourself in a situation like if you are involved with extracurricular or co-curricular or club activities, so that environment, your club activities will give you that environment where you can practice these certain skills. So if you want to be successful in your career, you need to have this people skill or soft skill. And if you want to acquire these skills, you need to be involved. Besides your classroom, you need to be involved with co-curricular or club activities. So like if once you are involved with business, so if I say you are a student of business school, so if you are involved with the business club, so the club will put you in a situation that you'll have to arrange some workshops. you'll have to work in a team to organize an event. So if you work in a team, that means you will learn how to communicate with other team members. You will learn how to negotiate certain things. You will learn how to maintain a team balance over there. So very important skill, how to work in a team or team management, you will learn from there. Fine. Once you organize an event, it might be a small workshop or competition. So you will learn how to organize an event. So you may write on your CV that how you can organize an event. So also there are some, difficult people in every organization. So in your club, there are some people who are really difficult to handle. So in that case, if you know the techniques to handle them, so you learn the techniques how to manage difficult people. So people management, coming days, it will be really difficult to manage people. So it's not easy thing to manage people. So once you are in an environment where you have to deal with different kinds of people, so in that case, you will learn these special skills, people management. Also, when you work in a team, you, manage, handle different kinds of people. And finally, through this process, you will learn how to lead a small group or big group of people. So see, and after organizing an event, the situation will put you in a position that you'll have to talk in front of the audience to negotiate, to present any kind of ideas or other things. So see, you'll learn how to deliver your public speaking.
Yeah.
So these are the things what we call people skill or soft skill. So those were the students. Please, in my student life, I didn't pass a single night without watching movie. I was involved with different clubs. I was involved with debate club. I was involved, with different kinds of extracurricular activities. Like if you want to be successful in your career, if you want to have certain stories with your resume, also in your interview board, be involved with extracurricular, co-curricular activities so that you may have some of your own stories to share with your interviewers.
Absolutely, and this is truly a wonderful way, wonderful approach, I would rather say, because people skills is something that you may not know or you may not aware, but you have heard right now. This is one of the most complex skills which is actually required today and tomorrow as well. So communicating, connecting, and also how to convince the same people what you're saying, why you're saying, and agreeing them on your favor. This is the path. It's not what you said. So we cannot expect that what we say that they understood the same thing, because the meaning, the interpretation, what you think could be different what somebody else heard. So it's my job. It's a part of communication. My job to help him to understand that the essence, what I wanted to mean. This is first thing, and then again agreeing on that, and then that's the convincing skill. That's the persuasion skill. Let's talk about the importance of persuasion, the art of persuasion, because how to convince people, and that's the broad line, right?
Yeah.
And convincing people on beneath there is like the communication, the persuasion, then it comes like art and science of persuasion. And let's not forget, till today you might know that only the salespeople persuade. The salespeople sells. Actually, you, me, and everybody is actually the sales. Doing sales. What sales are doing? We're selling our ideas.
Yeah.
We're selling our thoughts.
We're selling ourselves as
Right.
well. So one is interesting thing, like in my corporate training, I train this. How to persuade people, how to convince people.
Yeah.
So I use one formula, we call it triple C. So one C is first connect, then convey, finally convince. Like if you want to convince me, you have to convey your message. But you are conveying, you are telling a lot of things, but I'm not convinced, because I'm not well connected with you. So the formula is like this. First of all, you have to know how to connect. So in that case, we use one NLP tool that is, very interesting. So we use it like
You might not know NLP, neuro linguistic programming.
Yeah.
I mean, how our brain is actually programmed.
So there are certain terms, if you want to survive in this competitive world, I mean, in corporate world, you need to have certain skills like certain tools are from NLP, also emotional intelligence. From emotional intelligence, okay, I'm telling you both. From emotional intelligence, like what do we say? Fine. From emotional intelligence, they work with certain things like, first of all, knowing yourself, then manage yourself. Suppose when I know myself that if I don't drink at this moment, so I'll be thirsty. If I'm thirsty, I'll be a little bit angry. So if I'm angry, it is not helpful for my health. So in that case, what will I do? I will drink, definitely. I'm managing myself. So NLP says, emotional intelligence says, first know yourself, then manage yourself. Also know others and manage others. So I know that Kamrul Hassan is a very jolly-minded person once we just praise his t-shirt or other things. So in that case, whenever I'll be entering to your office, so before presenting anything business, so before doing anything business, just I will praise you. Okay, Kamrul, why? Today you look fresh. So, you look wonderful today. So in that case, your mind might be changed. So once I know that, okay, if I praise his shirt or other things, he will be pleased. So in that case, if I want to gain something from him, I'll be able to do that. Okay, so first knowing yourself, manage yourself, then know others, manage others. So I wanted to share with you that NLP tool, right? It is called mirroring and matching.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful too. You have done your NLP, right? So mirroring matching is really important because if you want to connect, to convey something, to convince someone. So
Connecting to convince.
Yeah, connecting to convince through conveying something. Okay, so mirroring or matching may help you in that case. Like if anything doesn't match between us. So if something is really matching, like okay, I studied at Dhaka University, you did as well. So the conversation would start like that. Okay, those days was really wonderful when we were a student of Dhaka University. We used to spend a lot of time in Modhu Canteen or other places. So I started conversation in a way that you can relate in your life. And then, so we are connected in the same place. Dhaka University relation. And finally, I am giving also my business, what I want to achieve, to connect. I'm conveying my business idea to convince you to sign something or to give me some permission or other things. So it's really interesting. If you want to persuade someone through your speech, if you want to convince someone by your communication, this tool may help you to convince, triple C, connect, convey, and finally convince. It's very, very, challenging or difficult discussion we are going through at this moment because I wanted to have a very, very light conversation just to give the ideas, but suddenly the corporate training, materials came in. I'm sorry for that.
This is really important because how you convince others. So you said the right terminology, that is emotional intelligence.
Exactly.
Actually, this is today, every one of us, everyone, you, me, and him, and others, everyone is actually going through the emotional turmoil because of the distraction, because of the pressure, because of the anxious and anxiety. How do we manage our mental state? That actually determines who we are today, what we are going to be, and what we want to become. So that is very wonderful. That is finding the commonality in a simple word, if we can say. You go and talk to and build the rapport. You see, in this process, why you do it? You want to build rapport. And why you want to build rapport? Because you have something to convince, to communicate. So building the rapport, what you said, the mirroring is exactly
the matching.
I want to matching. Sometimes you say leading and pacing. Sometimes it's mirroring and matching. So what exactly that is? You find a common pattern, common thing.
Exactly, like in a social gathering. So in a social, in my training session, what we saw, what I saw in my training session. So after a short break, so there are some people who go outside to have cigarette.
Yeah.
There are some people who want to say prayer. They go to mosque. And there are some people who really want to have something like tea or other things. So after that short break, when people come back to the, same room, I can see the changes in terms of their appearance and also their communication pattern and other things. Like those who shared their cigarette outside, so now they have a common bonding, that they are smokers. And those who went to say their prayer, now, okay, they are kind of pious or, different bonding among the short group. And those who went to have something, just to eat something, now they are different. Like, they got their matched person. So they are different, they belong to different small teams. So matching works there.
Yeah.
So mirroring is really interesting thing. Like, okay, if anything doesn't match.
Doing similar things.
Yeah, it doesn't match, but you have something like, you love to talk about emotional intelligence. So I want to have a relationship with you. So you have really passion to do something with your emotional intelligence. So I would learn something from that and I will start talking with emotional intelligence or other things.
Yeah.
So like, literally we don't match.
Yeah.
But I pretend to match with you that, okay, I do the same thing what you have.
Yeah.
So it's a mirroring. It's a really interesting tool. If you want to, it's all about relationship. You are talking about sales. Sales means we do not sell our product. We sell our relationship.
Yeah.
We sell our ideas. Once you have very good relationship with the counterpart, to communicate, to convince, to sell something. So build relationship first. And if you want to build relationship, this NLP tool, matching and mirroring, works a lot. Okay?
Absolutely. So you get some tools, some ideas. If you want to really learn, search it. NLP. You
Exactly.
get it. The world is at your hand. If you want to really learn the next generation techniques, the methods, you search EQ or EI, emotional intelligence. So you would understand the detail. Let's not talk about, so this is, you need to learn, because since then, so this is something that determines and that differentiate. Do you want to be the common person, or you want to be the uncommon person, or you want to be outstanding person? If you want, you need to think outside the box. What the common people doesn't. What the common doesn't, if you do that, you would be outstanding. Because law is simple, formula is simple. Doing the common things would produce the common result, which is 95%. So let's talk about something, we are afraid to become uncommon. We are afraid to, identify, university life, somebody says Atel, somebody says so many things. But in real world, the top 2% of the world's population, they are uncommon in their thinking, in their behaving, in their what they believe and what they persuade. So let's talk about, this is, I believe is important to you, because I believe that you deserve to be the best. You deserve to fulfill your dream and desire. So if it is, you have to be uncommon.
So in that take, Kamrul Hassan, if as we are focusing our young generation, especially those who are students at this moment and going to be future, job candidate, they are going to face the interview or other things. So in that case, how they can stand out from the crowd.
Exactly.
So that's the thing. Don't push me in a very difficult or tough discussion. In that case, this whole discussion will be really boring enough. So let's talk about exactly. So in that case, I would suggest, those who are the future graduates, or still if you are in first semester, so I would request you just make a resume of you first. First preparation, whatever your condition, it doesn't matter. You might be at first semester, or you might be in second semester or final semester. So make a resume. Fine. Once you prepare your resume, so what you will see that you do not have much thing over there to put, to mention, to stand out from the crowd. So one really important just data I would like to share here.
Yes, yeah.
Later on I will discuss how to prepare your resume and other things. So important thing, few days back, I mean in 2016 maybe, there was research conducted by British Council Economist Intelligence Unit. They conducted a research over Bangladeshi, worldwide. So also a research, so whatever I found that in Bangladesh, the research says 47% Bangladeshi graduates are unemployed.
47%.
47%. So in that case, if we consider like 100 students in, 1,000 students in one university is graduating in a convocation, so 50% would be unemployed as per the research. I'm not saying that. It's really, really very dangerous to think. I even didn't even imagine, my goodness. Whenever I went to different places, I went to Sylhet, Chittagong, Mymensingh, Rajshahi, in different places I talked, I shared with the students this information. So how you can stand out from there. And one interesting thing, like in 2017, few days back, it was a viral on social media that Bangladesh became fourth, remittance generation source for India.
Fourth largest.
In 2017, just few days back, it was viral on social media that Bangladesh became fourth revenue generation source
for India.
Let alone England, let alone some other countries. Arab Emirat maybe their first source, and then USA and another country, and Bangladesh became fourth. So how many?
Right.
Exactly. I'm not against India.
Yeah. It's just how it is happening. What is
exactly
happening.
I know many companies in Bangladesh. 85% employees are foreigner.
Yeah.
But we are saying that 47% Bangladeshi people are unemployed.
Yeah.
How does this, how do this huge number of people from Sri Lanka, Philippines, China, India are working in Bangladesh? Yeah. So, like as I work for a placement department, I directly work with different HR people. They just random phone me and ask me, okay, Jamy, can you send me some resumes? I give them resumes, and I sometimes get phone calls from them. Okay, what are the resumes? We are not satisfied the quality of the graduates of these universities. That is why we go for hiring foreigners, because we need people who can really work, who can really communicate and sell our products to the foreign market.
True.
So in that case, communication skills, especially communication in English language, it's really tough these days. Okay, what I wanted to share. So, it's up to you how you want to prove yourself in the job market. How you want to face the interview, because competition is global competition. Your competitors are from India, your competitors are from China, your competitors are from Philippines, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. So you have to compete in a global market. So prepare yourself for the global market, how to stand out from this crowd. So in that case, you have to utilize your student life. The 4 year you'll be staying at your university. So don't waste your time by chatting over the phone, Facebook, and also spending time by gathering and having adda or other things. So besides it, do it, because enjoy your student life, do it, but don't forget that the challenge you are going to face in the coming days. So prepare yourself. So once you have a document, I call it your resume in your hand, and after 4 months, think that what are the new things you added to write in your resume. If you don't find anything, I would say, okay, slap yourself once. Fine. Spend next 4 months. And same thing happens after another semester. If same thing happens, so slap you again. Okay, we'll be talking about this, because it's still we are in the middle.
Right. So we'll talk about the necessary skill sets. As we are talking about building a good resume, which would represent you at the same time, would convince you to the employer. Remember, a resume is going to convince on your behalf to the employer to employ you. So what are the skill sets that employer necessarily looking while they're going through your CV. We'll talk about this in this segment so that you understand that how you could develop yourself so that you can put those things into your resume and that will talk on behalf of you to the employer.
Yeah.
So in today's world that employer actually typically looking into some sort
Yeah.
of skills. So how actually students and young professionals could focus into those skills and abilities.
Okay, resume, we call it marketing brochure or marketing tool of ourselves. Like I cannot be places, but my resume will be there. So in that case, my resume will represent me, what I am, my good things, my really selling points. So unique selling points. Every person should have USP, unique selling propositions. And in your resume, that USP should be incorporated. So in that case, the good things, the unique selling points of a person should be in the resume. Okay, your resume, definitely very common scenario. The part one, then your career objective, then your educational background, other things, finally your experience. But there are certain things you need to have in your resume that we call, whether you do have certain competencies or skill set or not. So how do you get this skill set? So, as an employer, you might have a lot of employers here. They will be sharing the same thing that, as an employer, we see that whether you have some training, you have participated in some training programs or workshop or not. So once you have, 4 to 7 training programs that you have participated in your student life, that means you are serious. As an employer, we feel that you are serious in your student life. Yeah. So you are serious about your career. So you prepared yourself for the corporate world. And also, so the training, participation in training programs or workshops, this is important. And also, your extracurricular or co-curricular or service work or voluntary work, that will help you. Because once you are involved with extracurricular, co-curricular or service work or voluntary work, that will prove that really you can take extra load whenever it is given to you by your employers. You were busy to do certain things that that environment made you skilled or competent to take any kind of challenge to face in future, in coming days. So in your resume, these are the things. Career objective, then your educational background, and your involvement with extracurricular, co-curricular activities, your training or workshops, and
what are the things that you have done as a student as well that can help you to validate that you have the intention,
exactly.
You have the willingness? Because in the university, you could be involved in multiple clubs and multiple initiatives as well.
Exactly.
So nothing wrong because you mentioned those. What did you do over there? What did you solve there? How did you add value? Maybe you can also work for some social activities as
exactly.
well, where you have the chance, you have the opportunity to utilize your leadership skills, your people skills, your management skills, and also convincing others. As you were saying that in today's world, also this is one of the challenge, managing difficult customers, colleagues, and the people around. So how do you manage onto that circumstances and situations? If you can bring into those experience to the corporate split, they would be really, really happy to have you. Because that's the thing. Somebody says, I don't have experience, nobody hires me. But what actually bothering you, you go and work for something to the society. There are so many issues. Even right now we are having some issues like flood, the dengue and other things. Go and find it out how you want to solve this problem.
Yeah. One interesting story from my own life, like in my first job, when I submitted my resume there, so there was, written condition that this is a senior post, you need 2 years relevant experience. But I didn't have. I mean, practical experience. Just I finished my honors, graduation. The result hasn't been published yet, but I applied there. But I used my part-time experience that I do have 5 years part-time experience working for different organizations. So just they invited me. Maybe they had a lack of participants over there. So they invited me for a written test. So I had that confidence that if I am invited for interview or other things, I would, be able to manage them. Yeah. So I had that confidence. So, I stood for the written test. Then they brought me to computer test. Definitely, because I was serious with my career. So I know computer things and other things. So Word and other things. So, I got passed over there as well. So in interview board, when I communicated, I started talking about myself. I managed them to be convinced, because through my the proficiency in English language and other things, I have been able to manage them, that I am the right person you're looking for, because I know how to communicate, I know how to convince people, I know how to handle customers, I know how to talk. In fact, they asked me one question, that what are your strengths? Then I told them, okay, I know how to talk with a smiling face. So that was really interesting. So how does your smiling face, talking with a smiling face can be your strengths? Then I told them, okay, become approachable these days is really difficult. Yeah. People cannot be approachable. People do not have that much empathy. So these are the shortcomings of people, those who are working for organizations. But in that case, I know how to talk with a smiling face. Means I know how to convince people. I know how to communicate. Yeah. I know how to understand. So people feel comfortable to come to me and say easy things. Like I'm working for a university. So, I work for different universities. So at this moment, I'm working for a university. Students come with different types of problems and other things. When they come, I can understand what their motives or other things. If they are really angry with something. Yeah. So what I do, I listen. And okay, done. What do you want? We want this. Okay, done. Because I understand their motive at this moment. Mm-hmm. Later on, I may change my decision, but doesn't matter. But I know the environment at this moment. I cannot make any argument with them, because I'm a teacher and they're my students. So I shouldn't do that. So the moment I convince them. Later on, yeah. Okay.
This is really one of the greatest skill today. What is required? Good listening mind.
Yeah.
Why I say mind? Because we all have ears, right? And that apparently looks like working, but it's not. Because we might be listening somebody that is pretending actually, because the ear is open. Why then I say mind is somebody talking to you? Are you present in your mind on that particular moment, or you are somewhere else? So this is also one of the very important skills.
Yeah, listening. So you're putting me again in a serious discussion.
This is actually as your career coach,
yeah.
trainer and speaker, and also deal with the students.
Yeah.
So this is worth talking about. It looks simple, listening. Hey, what is this? We listen every day, but you're not. I challenge you, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not listening. Maybe even 50% of the time that you are listening somebody, you are not. And you practice it.
Yeah, exactly. There are certain things that we need to practice. At least we need to pretend that we are listening. Like what we train as a corporate trainer, we train people. So how to listen. It's really important, listening things. If you can listen, you can solve 50% of the problem. So listening is really, really important. So like while listening, you should remove all the distractions, like your laptop, your mobile phone, all the gadgets you have. So remove them and try to listen. So nodding your heads and also saying, okay, yes. We also use some other things like paraphrasing. Yeah. So it's really important. Saying your words your own way. Right. So these are the part of active listening. So listening and active listening. So two terms are really important. See, as a human being, what we do, we love to talk. We love to talk a lot, but we don't listen. We don't like to listen. So, there is a saying by Mark Twain. He said that if we were supposed to talk more rather listening, people, so we were given 2 mouths and 1 ear. Yeah. So, but the thing is totally opposite. Like we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. We need to listen more and talk less.
Correct. So that's a great point. And on this note, I want to talk about the as your coach and trainer and a public speaker. So the important role of a mentor and a coach could play
Yeah.
for a young professional's life, because a lot of us, we are not approaching towards the senior mentor or coach. So how it could play a role in developing the career.
Actually, I became a little bit surprised when I was learning the coaching and mentoring things because this is not practiced in Bangladesh. What I saw, like, so whatever we see that after completing graduation, people go to their teachers, what should I do? Uh, they ask their parents, they ask the senior brother in the village or in the town, those who are in successful positions.
Yeah.
So the culture is like this. So what should I do? So if if after completing my graduation, if I go to a banker, so he will definitely answer me that okay, prepare this thing for bank. If I go to a BCS cadre, he will answer me. He will guide me to take preparation for BCS. We do not go to a career coach. What I give examples like this, that okay, if you are sick, you don't go to your elder brother, you don't go to your university big brother or your teacher to take treatment, you go to your medical officer or doctor to take treatment, right? Also, if your son is psychologically not psychologically challenged, so you don't ask your teacher or big brother, you go to directly psychosocial counselor for the treatment. But we are not serious about the career, the big journey, lifelong journey. So we ask people and take decision based on that. But in that case, I differ. If you come to the career coach, so the career coach, what the career coach usually does, like before taking before taking majors, students come to me. So they ask, sir, what should I take? Accounting, finance, or marketing? So in that case, okay, I ask them, do you have time? Yes, I do. Then I give them a test. So I give them a psychometric testing, like MBTI, personality type testing. Based on that, I get a personality. So you have a master here, DISC. So this is really wonderful. So you are certified trainer of DISC in Bangladesh, right?
Yeah.
So so this is wonderful. Like if you know your personality type, based on that, take your preparation for a future career. Because once you know, what happens, like if a introvert person takes a job for selling something, he can't. Is it possible? Like I'm an introvert person. So if you give me something to sell outside, is it not possible for me to sell?
Yeah.
And also for an extrovert person, if I'm an expert person and you are pushing me for accounting department where I cannot share anything with the people, I'll die over there, definitely, because without talking, I can't spend a single minute.
Correct.
So, choosing your career path based on your personality type is really, really important. And also, if I choose my career based on my personality type and I'm there, I would perform better.
Yeah.
And
True,
with
true.
passion as well.
Truly, this is really an important message, because we don't, for solving a medical issue, solving a law related issues, we go to the lawyer, and every we go to engineer to design our house. Think about your career, your life, how you want to build. Is it not serious? Is it anyway less important than that of tackling a fever?
No.
It's not. You're dealing with your life, you're dealing with a career. If your career is really important, you need to ask towards your mentor and a coach. A coach would be able to make you better. So not necessarily coach has to be better than you. You see, Messi has a coach, Ronaldo has a coach, Sakib Al Hasan coach has a coach. The coach of Sakib Al Hasan, Messi and Ronaldo may not be better player than that of them, but the coach made them better.
Yeah.
You see, there is a difference. The coach made them better. How they make the differences into their life. And having a coach or versus having a not. Like this is not having a coach. You're going towards a regular direction. And this is someone who is having a coach. At times it gets different. At times it gets different over the years. You see, these are the difference a coach can make you. It's because the coach that incredibly, talented. It's because they know how to coach you. And it's because They are looking into from outside of the force. You have to understand it. They are looking into you from outside of the force. You are inside the force.
Yeah.
You might not know some other things, somewhere, some aspects of yours, but the coach can see you from third point of view and can help you by giving feedback and feed forward, which if you implement your career, your life is going to like this, and easily you can distinguish from 95% of the population who is not having this is simple math, but yet we might not understand. Thank you for bringing out this, and it is really wonderful way. One last thought and then we can close it for today's, and we hope and believe that now we'll be having some other discussions as well, how to develop and groom and really mentoring all of you.
So it would really better if we organize any subject-wise
Yeah,
conversation,
yeah.
discussion, because today we were like monkey jumping from here and there. So actually, career preparation is a vast thing. So we need to do this monkey jumping. This is really, I mean, vast thing within this 30 or 40 minutes. Really challenging to wrap it up. To give a complete guideline. So
Yeah.
you need to have a really long career mentoring sessions with your mentor. That's important.
Thank you. And we would be arranging from Coach Kamal Hassan Network for the proper mentoring and how we could help you to launch your dream job. So stay tuned. Until then, take care. You deserve the best. You deserve to fulfill your dream and desire. May Almighty bless you all. Stay well. Stay best. And thanks for watching it. And thanks for your time.